This video is on quadratic inequalities. So greater than or equal to, you color in the dot. Less than or equal to, you color in the dot because it's equal to, that's why. Strictly greater than is an open circle. Strictly less than is a closed circle. So this inequality, it says x is greater than or equal to 5. I always read from the variable, so I read x first. And it makes more sense to me. It means you want all the things that are greater than or equal to 5. So you color in the dot at 5 and go to the right. The right is greater than, right? Like this would be 6, 7, 8, forever. Okay. Next page. So here's the problem I'm going to do. Okay, this is a quadratic, x squared. That's what makes it quadratic. Minus 2x minus 8 is greater than or equal to 0. All right, so the first thing I do is factor it and find my zeros. So I found my zeros by setting factors equal to 0. X equals 4 and x equals negative 2. And then I always draw a line at those factors. So I drew a line in blue at those factors, at negative 2 and at 4. And then you test points. So the first, or you test an area. So see this area? I'm going to test all these areas. So I'm going to test this area first. So I tested a point in that area. Well, negative 5 is a point in that area. So I tested negative 5. I plugged it into the equation, and I got 27. And 27, remember we're doing greater than or equal to? 27 is greater than or equal to 0. So that's a true statement. Greater than or equal to 0 is positive, right? It's above 0. So positive. So on your number line, you write positive. So I wrote the positive there. Okay. The next place I chose to test a point was right in here, in the middle area. And in there, I chose 2. You can choose any value in there. I could have chosen negative 1 or 3. I could have chosen any of those numbers, but I chose 2. So I tested 2. You plug it in to the equation. And then you solve the equation, and I got negative 8. Negative 8 is greater than or equal to 0. Well, no, that's a false statement. And so you put negative up there. That's false. Okay, then I tested a point over here to the right side of 4. Because remember, our zeros are at negative 2 and 4. So I chose to test 6. This is the number I chose to test. You're testing values in that area. 6 minus 4 is 2. You go back into the original equation. 6 plus 2 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 is greater than or equal to 0. That's true. So this is what the number line looks like when you're testing the points. On the next page, this is how you write it. These are the places where it was true, where it was greater than or equal to 0. These are the places where it was greater than or equal to 0. From negative infinity to 2, and from 4 to infinity. And the reason I'm including those is because this is greater than or equal to. The equal to is why I drew a box here. Okay. Same problem. I showed you how you graph it. Here's how you graph this problem. This is the same problem, but this is how you graph it. So if you were just trying to decide what part is greater than or equal to 0, this is the part right here. Look at this. This is the part that's greater than 0. This is the part that's greater than 0. So how you answer the question is you write the x values where it's greater than 0 or equal to 0. So you go, oh, well, that's over here. Negative infinity to negative 2. And you include negative 2. I want the part where it's greater than or equal to 0. Oh, that's the x values over here. The x values is how I answer the question. From 4 to forever, right, which is called infinity. That's another way to look at the problem. Maybe this is easier for you. All right, that's it. I hope you learned something. If you subscribed, then you can get all my videos.